Thank you for taking the time to learn about AI. I am Sarah from the Den Company, a performance business mentor and CAA board member for the representative of the independents. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be hosting today. So before we kick off, in the chat, please. And please be active in the chat. Let's get these conversations going because there's going to be some important conversations coming. Please place what level you're at with AI. Like absolute newbie, haven't got a Scooby-Doo what I'm doing, or I'm completely coding new websites and it's, not a problem. I am a walking AI person. So where are you at? Where are you at with everything? Let us know because we have some amazing panelists here today. And we really want to help you get into what is going to be game changing for the future. This is interesting. Basic use, starting to adopt, but early days. I'm going to try and read them all quickly. I've been learning about AI and have cloned myself. Amazing. Just use Gemini and Chat GPT, or as I like to call him, Jack. I support my current business. It's like a great support when questions pop up. I love this. Basics and anything you've told me to do with it. Thank you, Nikki. um, Basic ChatGPT is about it. Not quite at the coding stage, but use it daily. Love it. Brilliant. So we've got a right mix here. Basic, use it every day, but very basic. Use it every day, but not an expert. Basically, chat. Right. Amazing. So I'm going to first of all introduce our fabulous panelists. We have the wonderful Sam, Tamara, Helen, Cam, and Stephen all joining us. They're going to do a very short introduction and tell them what level, well, not what level they're at, why are they here? So I'm going to start with you, Sam. Off you go, lovely.
Oh, surprise. I was first. Thanks, Sarah. So, yes, I'm Sam. I'm founder of What's On for Kids. I also founded the Children's Activities Association, although not involved day to day anymore. But yeah, was there right from the start. Lovely to see everyone. Yeah, so my AI journey started back in 2021. So, I've been a user for a long time. And most recently, I actually used. Been using OpenAI for part of the Generations from What's On for Kids, which is the new grandparents platform that we launched with the help of Innovate UK. So actually, yeah, getting into using AI, really technical stuff, but I use ChatGPT and other AI tools almost hourly basis now.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. I'm going to move on to, I haven't gone in order of our notes, as you can tell, panelists, because I've gone in order of how you're facing me on the screen. Tamara, you're next, then Helen.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamara Holland. I am a marketing consultant for children's activity providers. My business is called Dot and Stripe, and I have been in marketing a very long time, way before AI even existed. But I am really passionate about helping activity providers, franchisees, franchisors, and independent brands see how AI tools can not replace them, but become part of the daily processes that they're already doing to help automate a lot of your marketing tasks and content and make your content better ultimately. And ultimately, for me, it's about helping anything that is going to help make marketing less overwhelming for you and feel like less of an admin task. So AI is so powerful to help you do that. So I can't wait to talk about it today.
Thank you, Tamara. Helen, fellow Welshie, let's go.
Hey Sarah, hello everybody. Hi, I'm Helen Gillis. I'm the franchisor of Potts Place. So we are a baby and toddler development program, and I'm here today because really to talk about how I've used AI within our franchise and for our franchisees and to support them and to really sort of support you on a really day-to-day basis, not so much on a like what are the technical things I need to know, but what are the really practical things that can help day to day. And the other thing that I have also been starting to do is to do some work with franchisors to support them as well. So if you're in that camp and you want to get a little bit more information on how I can help you as a franchisor, then love to chat to you about that too.
Thank you, Helen. Let's go to Cam and then Stephen. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Cam from Trustus. So for about 15 years, I've been using traditional AI, which is known as machine learning. So integrating that into businesses. More recently, I'm working with businesses to integrate AI into their workflows. Today, I'll be talking a little bit about how it can support you in search.
Thank you very much, Cam. And Stephen.
Hello, I'm Stephen Young, and I am the Events and Partnerships Manager for Class for Kids, previously the producer for Class for Kids, and my background is very much in digital broadcasting and digital media. I've been a very early AI adopter from about 2021 as well, right across the spectrum from ChatGPT right across some of the coding platforms, which I will get into later today. Hopefully a lot of what we do and can share can support this industry, because that's kind of what we try and do as a business.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Stephen. All right. So let's just have a quick overview of 101 of AI. It's really not going away, guys. So the fact that no matter what level you're at, getting comfortable with using a degree of AI is going to help you in the future. So don't be scared of it. It can be completely and utterly overwhelming. We get that, and we will talk a little bit about that today as well. But I would just recommend you just start. Just start. Just go in and play. Think of it like a big playground, right? But that said, yeah, because we are the CAA, please operate the play equipment with safety. Right? It is safeguarding, particularly because we're dealing with children, is paramount, guys. It is absolutely paramount. Do not go putting people's personal details into open source AI, because it literally goes everywhere, right? So please be protective over your data. If in doubt, I always just take something out and I put in group A, child B, event A, event B. Just take it out and be super careful about it. Um, ownership, and I am not a lawyer, but ownership is a minefield, and it is an absolute minefield. And the boundaries are moving on a daily basis. Yeah, there will be a precedent set at some point in the future through some lawyers or something like that, that it will come, but it's not here now. So if you're ever in doubt, like if you ask it to do a logo, for example, if you're ever in doubt, get inspired by that and take it to a designer and getting in writing, in contract, this, I own the rights to this logo. So just be careful. Yeah. Don't get too trigger happy on it all. Just be careful. There are tools for literally everything. And I think that's why it can be so overwhelming. You've not just got just chat, but you've also got Claude, I can't speak, Perplexity. Gosh, get my teeth around that one. Copilot, Gemini. It can make music for you. It can build you apps. It can build you websites. This is why it can be completely overwhelming. It just needs to just hone in on what it is exactly that you are trying to achieve through using AI. Free versus paid. It's great you can grab these stuff for free. There are limitations. Free just takes a bit more work in order for you to get the results that you need. Yeah, with paid you can train it, you can organize it, you can give it everything you need. You just need to go in and just give me this and it will. But, oh, okay. Hang on. Let me just mute there. So yeah, just be aware. Just use it with safety is what I'm asking you to. So where do we start? And this is where I'm going to hand over to Helen. And she's going to talk a little bit about, the tools, where you start, how you identify the problem, how you break down what that problem is, and giving it personalizations and prompts and things like that. So she's going to start to look at it we're going to take you on a bit of a journey, guys. And we're going to start right at the very beginning, right? Very beginning, so that you don't go in and just go, oh, where do we start, Helen?
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, and you've actually kind of covered a little bit of it there, but yeah, I think it can feel like a really overwhelming thing because there is so much going on every day. You kind of like this new tool and that can do this, and it can be a thing where you go, okay, I don't know where to start, so I'm just not going to start. So what my recommendation is, rather than starting with like, what are all the tools and how do I learn all these tools, is what's the problem I'm actually trying to solve and how can AI help me with that? So you don't necessarily need 100 tools. Personally, I mostly just use ChatGPT, and that actually works for the majority of what I need to do. Obviously, with different contexts, you might want to look at different tools, and that's absolutely fine. But I'd suggest like start with one and get that working for you, and find some ways to help that to for it to support you in what you want it to do, and then you can build from there. So think about first. So what's the problem I'm trying to solve, or what do I want to achieve, and how can AI help me with that? So you can literally go onto it and just put in. It's like this is feeling unclear, or I'm not sure about this. This is feeling really difficult at the minute. How can you help me? And you can literally start there. And it will start to guide you through, actually, we could do this, or you could look at this, and it will give you start to give you ideas. So on a day-to-day basis, so that might be things like helping you to plan your week, or summarize meetings or trainings and then create yourself a plan. It could be that you need to have like a conversation with somebody that you're not looking forward to, and it can help. You can kind of go, help me prepare for this conversation. What are the different things that I should think about or prepare for? As well as using it in the way that I know a lot of us doesn't, and how I started, which is like, can you write me this social media post, or can you write me this email, for example? Okay. But the way that you're going to get better results from any of that is when you give it some background and some context. So actually let it get to know you. It's like, I just think of it as like someone that I chat to. So, talk to it like you just would a friend. You don't need to kind of really think, oh, I have to put in a perfect prompt. Just kind of, as if you're talking to somebody else again, like, oh, I've got this problem and I want some help with it, then talk to it like that. But give it some context. So tell it a bit about you, what you do, what your business is, what your background is, what you want to be able to do with it. So the more context you can give it, the more it's going to give you better results than if you just put in something like, write me a post about my classes to go on Instagram, for example. It's going to give you a really basic output from that, and you're going to go, this doesn't work. This isn't any good. But the more context that you give it, then the better results that you can get. One of the ways that you can, one of the things that really helps with this is to use sort of the same chat thread for similar topics. So rather than every time you go in, you start a new thread, create maybe a few threads for different topics. So it could be that you have like a marketing thread, and every time you go in and you want to something around marketing your business, you just continue the conversation, and then it will take all the context from what you've talked about previously, to know more about what you're talking about, and to start to really learn your voice and how you like to put things across, and you just start getting a lot better results from that. Yeah, so I was just put in the chat that I use projects. So yeah, you can absolutely use that. So if obviously depending on what system you're using, but most of the sort of chat-based AIs will have a system where you can, it's almost like making little folders. So on it's called projects on ChatGPT, and you kind of create little folders that you can put similar chats and threads in to keep everything nice and organized for you as well. The other thing you can do to really make it respond better to you is to use the personalization settings that most AI platforms have. So again, it'll be in different places on different ones. On ChatGPT, you need to go to your profile, which is kind of like the little circle with your name next to it. Open that up and you'll see an option for personalization. And you can put in there how you want it to talk to you. So again, it kind of giving it more context about about you. So it can you can add things like, how do you want it to talk to you? Do you want it to feel kind and supportive? Do you want it to challenge you? So for example, I ask it to think and speak like a strategist. So it can help me sort of organize my thoughts and create sort of strategy for my business, for example. Or, how do you work best? Do you like to talk things through? Do you like lists of things? All of those things you can put into the personalization, and it will really start to improve the kind of response that you get from it. But it's also not magic. You've got to guide it, okay? So think of it like a trainee coming into your business. What information does it need to be able to do its job well? And a useful way to think about it is that it needs that first human input, if you like. So you need to give it the first 10% of what you want it to do. Then it can kind of work with the next maybe 80%. So it can do things like, organize your thoughts, draft things for you, summarize, explore options with you, and they'll give you an output. And then you need to come back in at the end and give it that final 10%. So don't go in expecting it to produce something that you're like, yeah, perfect, I can just use that straight away. You need to go in and kind of go, okay, yeah, not that bit. I'm going to change that. That doesn't sound like me. And don't be afraid to challenge it either. So, kick back and kind of go, no, don't like that. Or can you make it sound more like this? Or do that bit again. The best thing is never gets mad at you. So you can just keep doing that, and it will start to really learn how you like to use it essentially, and the sort of output that you need that you want from it as well. Okay, so definitely push back at it. The more you kind of challenge it, the better it gets at understanding you and giving you the results that you want. And then a little bit more advanced, but what you can also start to do is you can create tools with it. So with ChatGPT, it has something called custom GPTs that you can build. I'm not going to get into it too much today, but just want to give you a sort of a practical use. So in the way I started using this for my franchise was, again, I came from that standpoint of, there's a problem that I need to solve. How can this help? And the thing that I was looking at in my franchise was around franchise support. So I was like, we had lots of information and trainings, but it was finding a way for franchisees to actually get what they needed that was really personalized to them when they needed it. So I created what I call a support bot for the franchise, which I've trained, if you like, to act as a business coach for them. So it's not just about finding information, but it actually coaches them through different issues. But it's trained specifically on our business, so it understands what we do and our values and all of those sorts of things. So it's something that our franchisees can now go into 24/7, ask questions, and rather than getting just like generic responses about how you run a business, it's like our franchise is the specialist subject for it. So it's just made it much, much more useful for them. So again, a little bit more advanced, but again, it came from that, this is a problem I want to solve, started asking it, and it's like, okay, well, we could build this, we could do this. And it literally talked me through how to do it. So that's just one example for you. But yes, start with the whole, what is the problem I want to solve, and build from there, rather than kind of going with, what are all the different tools I need to learn, and you can build.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Helen. So my takeaways on that is clarity. Use a similar chat thread for ongoing similar topics. Think, act, speak like a. Use it as a sounding block. If you go in, I don't know how to use, I don't know what to do, ask it, it'll help you. And the first 10% of what you want to do. And if there is a problem, how? Keep asking it. Those are my biggest takeaways. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you. Right, we are moving on to, actually, there is a question there. I guess you need the paid version for custom chat GPTs. Who would like to tackle that one?
Yes, you do need a paid version to create the custom GPTs.
Thank you.
But it's honestly very, very worthwhile, I would suggest.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Okay, we are moving on to the wonderful Sam from What's On. Yes, I was gonna. Do you know, I've just got confused then between Class for Kids and What's On for Kids. For fabulous Sam, from What's On for Kids, talking about how we can almost use ChatGPT as this sounding box, this business support for us to get things done faster, feel less alone, so that it can contribute to you and your family life versus it just being this standalone thing that just works separately to us. So, Sam, the floor is all yours, my lovely. Thank you.
Thanks again, Sarah. Yeah, so for me, this was a really important one, and it is building on Helen, what you've already said. But this sector is full of thousands of small businesses. Now, I know running my own small business for the last 20 years, they can be lonely sometimes, that you're juggling your business with many other commitments, family life, classes, all of that. So you often don't have the time, the headspace, or indeed someone with you in your business to talk things through. And it's fitting everything around all those other things. So often you find yourself with that time, in the evenings, at the weekends. And that's when your team, your other support like your accountant and your business friends, they're not there for you. So that's where I think AI for our sector in particular can really help, because you mentioned it, Helen, 24/7 business support, essentially. It's ready when you're ready to work on something, when you finally get 5 minutes to think. I would say it's not replacing you or a real business partner or real people in your team, but it's just a way to help you think things through and feel less like you're carrying everything you're on your own. I think someone mentioned they've got a name for ChatGPT. Absolutely, you do start to feel that it's that you've got someone at your side helping you. So there are things that AI is good for. And when I say AI here, I tend to use ChatGPT. I do have the paid version of it, but it's less than £20 a month, which for what you get, I think is a bargain. It's one of those subscriptions that at the moment I could never see I would cancel. I did try the same sort of thing with Claude. Claude's great, particularly on the technical side, but I think for chat, this is where ChatGPT, I guess the clue's in the name, actually I think it beats Claude, because ChatGPT tends to be responsive more in more natural language. So you do get that sort of feeling you're having a conversation. So what is ChatGPT good for when it comes to business support? So I think it could be a sounding board when you're stuck or you're overthinking things, you've got too much rolling around in your head. So it can just help you structure your thinking a bit better. It can quickly look at pros and cons before making decisions. We've talked about content, so drafting emails, posts, policies, proposals, it takes seconds. Now, I don't think I've ever copied and pasted a response from ChatGPT for anything, because it always needs something, it always needs your input. So that's one thing I would say. It's never the final product, I would say, but it gets you a fair way there on a lot of things. Brainstorming is another thing that I've used it for an awful lot, because it often comes up with random things that you would never have got to by yourself, or certainly got to as quickly. So I think especially when you're sort of a bit stuck, when your creativities you run dry, that's absolutely an opportunity there to just help you get creative, I think. One thing I've been using it for quite recently is crunching through a lot of data. It can do that obviously very, very fast, much faster than any of us can, especially with everything else we've got doing. And it can help you spot themes, trends, so whatever that might be, whether it's feedback forms, for example, what are the trends, what are the words that are coming out, that sort of thing. So that's a really good way of looking at data and then building on it. So looking at trends over a time period, for example. So you might look for trends currently, but then maybe if you get, say, feedback forms coming in a year's time, what's happened, what's changed, and that's when you can go back to that same chat, load up the new data, and say, right now, tell me what's changed between that first set of data and this set of data. Ultimately, this is just helping you feel less alone when you need to talk through something or need help with something. One thing I would say is that, and Helen, you mentioned the AI is far from perfect. It's sometimes so confidently wrong. It is quite shocking, actually, what it comes up with. You still absolutely have to sanity check this thing. I think the phrase is sort of an echo chamber. It kind of almost like is a kind of a keen puppy sometimes, and wants to please you and wants to help you and wants to give you an answer. So it can sometimes just tell you what you want to hear. So, you know, challenging it and telling it how you want to interact with it is very important. What it doesn't do is know your customers like you do. You know, you are very experienced you've got years of knowledge and skills and talking to real people. There's no way that AI is gonna know that, that's for sure. And I don't think it can replace human judgment or understand the intricacies of human relationships either. So that's another thing that it's, you know, we're a long way from that being possible. And of course, it's not a substitute for professional advice. So like from accountants and lawyers, we have to say that. And just picking up on what Sarah said at the top, you know, don't paste sensitive data in. So you removing names, finances, contracts, that sort of stuff. Redact anything you can to make sure that if you don't have any documents, that sort of thing, and probably not share confidential business information, just to be on the safe side. It's about thinking support, not final decisions. Yeah, the buck stops with you, so don't forget that, definitely. It's not going to run the business for you. It definitely won't run your business, but it can help you run it better, I think. I like to think of it, maybe not as a puppy, but it's definitely as a smart assistant, just one that needs really close supervision. I think I would say I would be lost without ChatGPT now. It's a fundamental part of my everyday business life. And actually, it's now, I use it for personal situations as well. So yeah, it's remarkable in what, 18 months, 2 years that has happened. So I think once you start, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but once you start, it's quite hard to stop. So just be warned, it's addictive as well. So.
Fantastic. Oh, Sam, yes, it is addictive, right? It's a little bit dangerous that way. Fabulous. Thank you so much. So my takeaways, it can help you with things like pros and cons. It's a sounding block. It's really good for brainstorming, data collection. You can spot themes and trends. I loved that sentence. AI can be confidently wrong. That was just, that is just brilliant. It sort of sums it up, and it doesn't quite know your customers like you, and it is not a substitute for professionals. Thank you so much, Sam. Right, we are moving on to Tamara, the lovely Tamara. So now we're going to start moving forward and we're going to start talking about day-to-day effectiveness with AI automation capabilities and using timely responses with some bots. We're up in the technical level now, guys. Okay. Please feel free to use the chat. Yes. So let's keep it active and going. So I am going to hand you over to Tamara to talk all things chatbots. Let's go.
Yeah, hello everyone. Well, I love what everyone shared so far, and I think one of the first places I want to start actually is as marketers. Certainly what I see as a marketer more than ever, customers are craving authenticity more and more. So they can see through that copy and pasted custom GPT copy that you've just thrown straight into social media. And the same goes with images, videos. I'm seeing a lot of this trend of the kind of cartoony versions of yourself. And in a way, it's quite terrifying, when you actually say to this custom GPT, tell me, create an image about me based on everything you know about me. That's actually quite scary. And they've been able to kind of get these so perfect. So we do have to come to what we're taking out of AI and create things more authentically, because our audience are super aware of it. But I think from a marketing perspective, for me, AI it's not about being technical and creating loads of whizzy tools. It's about how we can use it to help us feel less overwhelmed in our day-to-day activities, because we are so busy, and particularly in marketing, it goes to the bottom of the list, or we go for the shiny object syndrome. We do the fun things and not the difficult things. So we want to use it in ways that are going to be able to help us. So one of the ways that most people are using it, obviously, at the moment is for writing. So, blank page syndrome. What do we write? Let's help us create first drafts, or improve clarity, or make it sound better. And what we need to remember with that copy is that AI isn't our replacement. It is our starting point, like everyone else has shared so far. And I think one of the ways that I do this a lot for clients I work with is through building custom GPTs, like Helen shared. And actually, there's 2 or 3 key AI tools that I say that every franchisor and franchisee should have. And that one is a custom GPT. And for my clients, we build them based on adding in your tone of voice, who your audience is, frequently asked questions your audience is getting, key examples of great copy that you've created in the past, or social media posts you've created, who your ideal customer is in really specific detail, your offers, your messaging. And you put all of this in the background, and you tell ChatGPT what you want it to do, but you also need to tell it everything you don't want it to do, just as much as what you do. And it can help them build this amazing content creation tool that is specific to your business. And the more you use it, the more you train it, the better it's becoming. So I always recommend those for activity providers. I'm working with a franchisor right now who had real challenges with their franchisees creating blogs. So we've now created a bot for blog creation as well. So they can come in and it will localize it specific to their local franchise as well. So it's so amazing at helping speed up that content creation. And like we've shared before, for me, you take that copy and you make it your own, you personalize it. So I think, it's easy for marketers to sit here and say how easy it is to create content. And really it is now when you come to creating tools like this. But one of the other really powerful tools that I recommend for clients is ManyChat. And ManyChat is a really important tool for that's integrated into your social media platforms. So let me know in the comments if you've ever seen a post where it says, comment the word book below and I'll send you a link to our classes. That is all automated and created using a tool called ManyChat, which costs about £15 a month. So really kind of affordable tool to automate messages. And for me, customers now, we expect instant replies. We want information, we want it now. And this kind of powerful tool is able to automatically reply to Instagram comments, to direct messages, for delivering booking links. I've got a franchisor that uses it to help people direct them to their nearest franchise location. You can also amazingly integrate it with other tools. So for example, for me, getting people off social media into your email list is a priority. You can automate sending a freebie or a lead magnet, or sign up to our email list and drive people automatically into these systems. And it's all connected up. You put in the hard work of creating these flows first. And then once it's created, it's all kind of automating this customer experience. And again, you come out of ManyChat into email marketing, and you can automate emails to go out to your audience as well. So for me, the power of AI and automation is connecting tools together to just provide a much better customer experience. So instead of like, I'll get round to replying, everything's just handled instantly, and your customer is just going through this loop, this automation themselves, and it feels, and you can personalize these experience to feel like you, to your tone of voice. As far as customers can be concerned, it can feel like you are like a superhuman, being able to reply straight away. In other brands I work with, they actually call it a bot and just say, "Hi, this is our bot. We might take a few minutes to reply, but here's some of the key information you might need." And it's just a great way to just improve this customer experience. So I think, to summarize as well, for me, for AI is about connecting everything. Connecting from when somebody wants to find out more information, to sending a booking, to sharing a freebie, to sending a welcome email series. All of these kind of powerful tools and automations just make your marketing way, way simpler for you to manage as well. So yeah, I think for me, the goal is for all of us as business owners and marketers to not do more. No one wants more on their to-do list. So if you get the opportunity to put time aside to set some of these systems up, it's just going to reduce your repetition, speed up tasks, help you respond faster, and just free up mental space as well. You take away that administration, and you're able to be more reactive and creative when it comes to your marketing. And for me, that's what it's all about. You want to actually have fun. Marketing should be fun. So AI and automation is not just about removing that human touch. So yeah, for me, the answer isn't about feeling more overwhelmed. The answer isn't more effort. It's just, what can we do to simplify everything?
Amazing. Thank you, Tamara. I would agree with you there, guys. Something Tamara said is crucially important, and that is you need to make time to work on these little things that you're hearing, to make time to put these little things in place for your longevity, for sustainability, because that's what's going to make the difference to you gaining your hours back, to gaining your time back. Just investing. Something simple, ManyChat is excellent. And if you just go in and something simple as comment enroll, and automatically straight into their DMs goes your link to your enrollment form. None of this toing and froing. How much effort would that take out? And it's not, I mean, it's not, I say it's not an overly complicated. I've moved to Go High Level, so now I have that system within Go High Level. So tomorrow it's not overly complicated in ManyChat to put one word and put a simple follow-up that goes to people's DMs.
Yeah, and the good thing is as well, they have an integrated AI, so it can actually can tell it what you want to do, and it will build your flow for you. It's not great yet, which is kind of the experience a lot of us see with AI, but it's getting there. But what's great is they have pre-built templates, so it really is difficult to get it wrong. And obviously, if anyone needs any further help, that's something I can help with as well.
Think about it, guys, how all of these fabulous advice is coming out. How can you apply this to your business? What can you do that's going to make it a difference in your business? And if you're a bit like, oh, you've got all these experts here. So if you're a bit like, well, I'm trying to do this, but I don't quite know how to do it, pop it in the chat, guys, if you're open to it, and let us have a look at it, because you've got 5 experts here who can literally just go, well, if you did this, 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 and this, you'd get that. Do you know what I mean? So please ask away. So my takeaways, people are craving authenticity. The custom chat GPTs can actually make your frequently asked questions, your tone of voice, can get you good copy. You put your ideal client in there, your values, your offers, your messaging, and then it helps you out. So I put a comment in the chat, guys. What do you feel you could use a custom chat GPT for? Now, don't get overwhelmed by going, oh, Sarah, this is not. Yeah, remember, this can help you with your future. We're trying to future-proof you here, guys. So we're not always like, ah. Right. Before we go to Stephen, right, I asked all of our panelists to use one fun, very quick sentence that would literally help them or help you guys with AI. Now, mine involved swearing, so I've taken that bit out, And I've put that if you use the word, I'll use the sentence, this is too pretentious, then, if they give you a comment back, do you know what I mean? If you just use the words, this is too pretentious, it will go, okay, yeah, I hear you. I see what you're saying. Let's make it a little bit like, "Ooh," in your face and calm it down a bit. So that was my one. Um, Helen, yours is?
Mine's kind of similar. I often tell it to stop talking like a bot, and I also tell it all the time just take out all the end dashes, which just drives me crazy.
Oh, they are a nightmare. Yeah, ask it to do that. Don't you go through and go delete, delete. Use the chat to do it. Sam.
Tell it who you want it to be today. So depending on what the task in hand is, do you want it to be a marketing strategist for children's active providers? Do you want it to be a senior accountant who specialises in small business? Tell it who you want to be, and that will give it context straight away before you get into the detail.
Thank you. Stephen.
Mine was ignore any spelling errors I create as they will happen, and I do not want to be corrected. Because they do happen, and it's now very much it knows I can mash away, and it knows exactly what I'm trying to say, even if the words are spelled wrong.
Yeah, it does. It does. It just responds, guys. Don't worry about the spelling. Absolutely. Cam.
I say be politely hostile because it does flatter you, but also refer to me as boss. So get economy.
Love it. Brilliant. Right, thank you. Moving on. Right, Stephen, it's over to you, my lovely. And we're going to be looking at some creative hints and tips to use visual graphics now and video AI as well. Now, Stephen is actually going to do some screen sharing on this. So it's over to you, Steve.
So what I'll do is I will show a little bit of kind of graphics. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Yes, cool. I've got some examples with graphics, but I'm not going to go down, as Tamara was saying, that horrible route of the good, the bad, and the ugly, where I'm showing, try to generate people or anything like that, because AI is still getting there with that, depending on what model you're using. So in marketing as well, we using it not just for that, for image generation. We're using it right across the kind of the spread to try and actually build these email lists. So I'll show a couple of examples, and then I'm going to show some examples of vibe coding very quickly, so that we can get an idea of just how creative you can kind of be when you really want to think about it. So let me just make sure this shares okay. Can you see this okay? Yes, excellent. Let me go into present mode. Oops. Present. Okay, so this is the flyer for the event that we're at just now. I'm not saying that this was generated by AI. This was definitely designed, which is great, and I think that that's what goes hand in hand. You never rely. I really like what was said before about the sort of intellectual property and the copyright around generating images. Absolutely, if you're going to generate something that you don't necessarily own it straight away, so it's to be careful in doing that. Be very mindful of these things. What I wanted to show was a very quick prompt for how we can take something that you've already got and repurpose it very, very quickly. This all is at the moment using ChatGPT. So we had this, and I wanted to put it not just on like advertised like this, but say I wanted to have it in different shapes and variations. I won't read the whole prompt, but it's basically I always enter prompts at the beginning, as I think it's been discussed already, is acting like, so that it gains that persona before it even starts. But with one click, it designs the whole thing into completely different variations. It needs to be sense checked, obviously, because some of the faces might be unaligned, or that might not be correct. But it shows what can be done if you go. I mean, it can save a lot of time. I'm thinking of franchisors that might want to get multiple things done for multiple iterations of kind of creative and copy. I'll go through this quite quickly so that I get a chance to. So again, there are many video models that are out there just now. We are using Sora and one called Envato Elements. We don't generate people with it at all. I tend to be using it for transitions between videos and things. But I took the CA logo and just put this prompt in and just seen what it kind of came up with, and it's not too bad. And again, this was a 2-second prompt. If I was to sit and hone this, you could come up with something a lot better. But it kind of gives you a nice little animation, and it's given me two variations of it as I've kind of asked for. So it's just very, very quick examples of what can be done, and not using, again, I'm very against it at the moment until they get it right, using real people. Or I've built a clone of myself as well. Somebody mentioned a clone. It's terrifying. So I won't be won't be using that. So this is a platform, right, that we've been using now. Canva AI and ChatGPT, they have the ability to vibe code within it. Canva AI, if you're using Canva, is very good at this. It allows you to build websites, applications, and you can just tweak them as you go. This platform is called Lovable, and the difference between that and Canva AI at the moment is that once you build something on Lovable for the monthly subscription, which I believe is about £16 to £18, it hosts it for you, right? So that it hosts whatever you built. It'll also give you a CMS, so the custom content management system in the background, so you can change everything. And if you've not seen any of these sort of vibe coding platforms before, this is how it goes. And I've put in here just something that Sarah said at the beginning. So I'm going to run this right as we talk. And as you can see, it'll start scoping out this whole project and then actually thinking and starting to code. Whilst that's doing that, I'll jump on to another example. So this is something that I think could be useful right across the sector. It basically a gated content sign up page. This was built on Lovable with like a 2-sentence prompt and then a few tweaks just for design code. So it does exactly as it says in the tin. We would want people to let us know club size, where they were from. Now they can't get to this webinar or whatever it is. It doesn't need to be a webinar. This could be an annual general. It could be a general meeting that you just need people to see. It could also be kind of podcasts or educational content that you need as a franchisor. Potentially, you need everybody else to get access to. And once you get access to this, it's not just a standard kind of, here's a video. There's slides from the presentation, guides, worksheets, additional reading. There's an area there for people to submit and review. There's a quiz that you can set up. Half of this was suggested by the AI as it was building it for me, and it literally took 10 minutes to create this in total. I'll go on to another one. So this again I think could be very useful right across the board, and this is just a social media master dashboard, which is pulling in all the metrics from the different social channels that I've plugged into it and outputting it in a very, very clear and concise way. Where I could see this in the sector benefiting is if you've got multiple locations. If you're a franchisor with franchisees all over the place, if you plugged in, if you wanted to keep track of all these specific metrics, you could be plugging in all the different Facebook, Instagram, all the different APIs or the API keys, and it'll pull everything through under one place. So you've got a full overview of your kind of output, your engagement, all again done very, very quickly on AI. This is the second last one. So this is something that's quite cutesy, I suppose, but it's basically a video screen, right? And all I've done is ask it to create me a branded video screen that'll pull in automatically all of our YouTube content from a playlist. So this will just, as you can see, it's just done it there. It'll just play on loop. Now this has been beneficial for us for events in the background, for when we've had internal events, and just as a kind of showcase screen. A lot of the clubs that we visit have got screens up anyways, and they're quite often dormant. So it's just to have something maybe vibrant that they can keep their eyes on. And then lastly, before I go back to see what that's built, this is a social media testimonial generator, which I've literally just about an hour before we come on was kind of thinking what could be of benefit, right? So I'll quickly go through what this is. It's for testimonials, so I'm going to just paste like fake testimonials, obviously, about this webinar in here. I'll do say 3. So it's asking me for what the review is. So everybody will have reviews on social media. Everybody will have reviews on wherever they may be. This is a place where you can put them all in. I'll put 3 in. Just give me a second. And I'll just put Stephen. And then one last one. I've got these pre-written, so I can just paste them. Let's put Sarah. Okay. So they're all there now, right? Now, what I've asked it to do is to analyze the themes within the testimonials, so that it's not just giving me back those exact testimonials, But what it's going to do is give me back really nicely positioned. Now, what that is there, that's a 3-image carousel slider directly for Instagram. Okay, so that's almost ready to go. But what we can do with that now is just go into my downloads and attach an image to it. And you've got full control here of how bright that image is, the overlay capacity, the theme colors, everything like that. So you've just suddenly, you can change the text size and font, you can make it a lot clearer. And what we've just done there is create a 3-slide carousel, which could go right across your social media accounts, and you just hit the download zip file here and done. It's downloaded all 3 of those images as one now, kind of ready to go. And that's that one. I will go back now to see what it's done with safeguarding. Oh, okay. Once this one does finally, it's going to ask me a lot more details on it now, which is really good. As you can see, it's asking me, do I want local storage? Do I want the progress to be saved? Which I do. So I won't end this one with this, but what I'll do is build this and then put it into the chat and before the end of the call, so that we can kind of see a live example of that. But that is me. I think hopefully that's been helpful and inspirational. I think it's just really about the sky's the limit with this now. It really is. What do you need, and what can you build yourself without having to go kind of external anymore? And again, the reason I use that Lovable platform is because it does all the hosting. It's very, very handy like that.
Anybody else's brains blown? Now, I knew of Lovable. I hadn't actually gone in and played around with it, but I certainly will be going and playing around with Lovable after that. Anyone else sort of are like thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a go, or just like, ooh, I don't know, that might be a bit too much.
Don't be frightened of it. It's really, I mean, seriously, I'm not the smartest. So it's very, very easy and intuitive to use.
Yeah, can't wait to play. Really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So Julia in the background has asked, would be amazing if you could all send Stephen some real testimonials about this webinar that he can do this. And then she can add it to the recording in the website through that Lovable. That would be amazing, guys. I know we're not at the end yet, but yeah, amazing. I want to have a go. Brilliant. I'm glad you're feeling like that, guys. That's important that you take these tools and just go, yes, let's go. Helen said, go play. Go think of it like a big playground, safe playground, right? But go play. These tools are just incredible. Brilliant. Thank you. Right. Cam, we know AI is changing the game. We know that people aren't necessarily using Google anymore. And gone are the days so much of the maps being more important. Everyone's looking at the AI views.
That's right. So we spoke a
about
lot.
that.
Yeah, so we spoke a lot today. Great information, great education on how AI is affecting us as business owners and what we can do and how we can leverage it. But it's also affecting our customers and our prospective customers, right? The way they are using AI is going to have a direct impact on us and our businesses and ultimately our revenue. So traditionally, there was a time where if you weren't in print, you weren't getting found as businesses, right? So when your prospective customers needed you, you would go to the Yellow Pages, Thompson's Local, your local print. That shifted to online. And those who weren't adopting online were losing out and businesses were closing. So everyone shifted to online, to search engines. So where prospective customers found you was search engines, and Google Maps became important. And the search terminology of near me became important, right? So whenever you started searching, you'll be, even think about it from your everyday use. When you're searching things, you're probably searching near me, dance classes near me, marketing specialist near me. Now that change is happening from search engines to AI engines. We've already heard a lot of discussions about AI engines and how you use them and the dialogue you can have with these AI engines. So the terminology of near me is non-existent anymore. There's different types of terminology happening and different types of discussion happening. So how do we as business owners make sure that we are getting found in this new search landscape? Right? Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know where this space is going. it changes on a daily basis. Today, I read ChatGPT are introducing ads, right? OpenAI introducing ads, which is again going to change the landscape. But what I can tell you is what we've learned to date and what's important in these search engines to date, right? I'm going to keep it really, really simple. If you type in, it's mind-boggling. It blows my mind, right? Answer engine optimization, generative engine optimization, all these fancy word optimizations come into it. But in simple terms, think of it like this. The AI is almost like a human, right? When the prospective customers are asking this digital human for a recommendation for something, it's like me asking Sarah, do you know anyone that does this? Sarah's going to recommend me someone based on the relevancy of my ask, right? So is it relevant to me? Right? And the second thing she's going to base it on is, does she trust the person she's going to send me to? She's not going to send me anyone she doesn't trust. So in simple terms, what we have to make sure is our websites, even our Google business profiles, have relevancy to our customer. And I think Sam mentioned it, Tam echoed it in terms of no one knows your customers better than you, right? So your marketing has to be relevant to what you think what you know your prospective customers are searching. So your content on your website. And the other thing is trust signals. Yeah? Trust signals online, across your reviews, across authoritative platforms that you are marketing on or putting yourselves on. These two things are going to be super important for you, right, in order to get found in search. So I like to sum it up quite quickly in saying that traditional SEO was about ranking pages. Right? AI SEO, become the trusted source. Right? If you become the trusted source, you'll get found in these AI engines. Thank you.
Caught me off guard then. Sorry, I was writing down. Yeah, wow. Do you know what? I've led a webinar this morning. I led a training for Keris this morning, and it was on word of mouth marketing. And part of it was about trust.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with children, guys, and parents. They're the precious, the most precious thing in the world. And parents are gonna want to hear from their trusted circle. Okay, and it's interesting to hear that AI is now dealing with it in the same way. Sam, did you want to add anything to that? Lovely.
Yeah. Well, Cam and I spoke before this session, and everything he said is bang on. There's been a question actually in the chat about how do you become a trusted source. So, and Cam did mention this briefly, but it's about associating yourself with trusted sources, so that the AI thinks are trusted sources. That's really established, well-known, credible sources. So being found on those sites. Obviously, I'm going to say Watson for Kids here. I'd be in trouble if I didn't. But it's also making sure that you have information on your websites that the AI can easily access. So access, by that I mean, we all have an About Us page, but quite often, and I'm probably guilty of this as well, we over flower it with too many flowery words. So AI is just looking for the facts, straightforward. So who are you? How long have you been around? Why should you be trusted by anyone, including AI? So it's good to review your About Us page and any other content on your site, actually, to make sure that it's really factual and you're giving AI tools that credibility it's looking for. So definitely associate yourself with sources that would be trusted, but also make sure that you're being very factual and very clear, cut down the marketing BS, and that will help. But as Cam said, this is evolving massively and will continue to evolve. So we've just got to be on it and go with it. But we're seeing on Watson for Kids, referrals from ChatGPT absolutely coming up the rankings for our analytics, our acquisition. Google is still up at the top, absolutely, but ChatGPT is coming up the ranks now as well.
Thank you. How important, Sam and Cam, We're going to go Sam Cam Tam. How important is the name, address, all that sort of stuff to be consistent?
Can I jump in
Okay.
on the
Yeah,
social
go for it.
media perspective? So, social media now is there's I don't exactly know the percentage off the top of my head, but it's a huge percentage of people use social media for search, particularly channels like TikTok and Instagram. So keywords and the content, the words that you're using in your content really, really matter on social media as much as your bio, the captions you're using on video. There's so many opportunities for that lovely kind of keyword rich content to help you be discovered. And especially franchisees or independents who are local, those local keywords matter so much as well. So making sure in your Instagram bio you've got your address or the locations you cover. Again, tagging your locations in posts for discovery as well, all really, really key. So yeah, just wanted to jump in on that social media side.
Thank you. Okay, Cam, anything more to add, or I think we've
No,
pretty much covered it.
that's it from me.
All right, thank you so much. Right, questions, guys. Myself and Tamara have dropped it. There were two questions asking about how to become a trusted source. I think we've covered that, but there are some answers in the chat as well, using blogs, directories, social media, as Tamara's just said. CAA, get your badge up, guys. Join the CAA. Hint, hint, cough, cough. The what's on for kids, tag the companies. Yes, so it's reciprocal here. Yeah, if you're there's a couple of my members on here, pop your Den approved status onto your website, link it back, or your association that you're with. Yeah, use all of this. So let's have some questions. We are obviously running over a little, guys. Right. Any questions? You can unmute or you can just pop it in the chat if you'd like. Don't all go quiet on us now. Give you a
I'm going to jump in.
Go on, Emma. Yes.
Like I sort of mentioned at the start, I've been sort of trying to clone myself because for years and years it's all in my head, and now I'm sort of looking at retiring. I'm like, how can I get all these processes that I just do? So I actually started with all my standard operation procedures. So I literally put my business plan, my goals, and everything else into my project, and then asked it for governance, safeguarding, HR. So I went literally through everything. So I know that if I suddenly went downhill, there's a whole folder now of how to do stuff. But I need to sort of go through and just sort of clean them up. Like you said, is putting that human touch. I've just let it print off, but I now need to go and put that human touch on it and sort of to personalize it how we do it for the charity. But I know it's all officially connected to the Welsh government agendas and health, like all the safeguarding and all the different policies. But I want to know is with cloning myself, I want to put because I hate talking on videos. I can't stand it when a camera puts it. I no talk live, but not on a camera. And I saw something on one of your emails saying that nobody believes social media anymore. I think it was one in, what did you put in one of your, that nobody believes what they're reading because it's all fake. So how could I get a video of me, but doing it through AI? I think it was Stephen. Yeah.
Yep. No, there's a lot of platforms that you can use for it. We're one of the design. I was cloned, as I said recently, and it was terrifying because the way someone cloned me, what I didn't realize. So it was I can't remember the name, but I will get it to you, right? If you even just comment, I'll get you the name of the platform. It wasn't that expensive, but it cloned me, and then the designer that was taking, I had to stand in front of the video and say like 30 seconds worth of talk. Then I had to sign something online, which I didn't really understand what I was doing. And then afterwards, he told me, "Well, you're now in the bank of people being able to use anywhere in the world, so there could be things that
Oh,
you can't use somewhere."
oh, I
So
don't want that.
don't do that. Don't do that part of it. But what I allowed to do was really good. It was very realistic. It was just kind of me sitting there talking as I talked. The weird thing was they were able to put it into every language. So they had me in
Yeah,
Japanese and they had me in Spanish and things like that as well. But I'll get the platform for you. I know it wasn't a subscription cost. It was a one-time cost to get this kind of done. Uh, and then you've got this bit of software that
yeah,
you just have to write whatever you wanted to say, and then it'll kind of come up and say it.
right. Yeah, because I it's something that like everyone keeps saying, why don't you just do a short video? And I'm like, because it won't just be a quick short video. Like by the time I stress and flap and get anxiety by being put into the in front of the camera, I just want to be able to have my face, but it's not me.
Yeah, no, we're actually doing very, very similar things at Class for Kids as well, to just looking into all this. So I'll find out now before the end of the call, and I'll drop you
Okay,
the messages.
amazing. Thank you.
Brilliant. We have a question from Joe. Any thoughts on sustainability and environmental impact, please? Who would like to take this one?
That is very technical.
Go on then, Cam, it's over to you.
I'm assuming you're meaning sustainability and environmental impact of all these GPUs running in the background and burning up all this energy, right? So
Yes and no, but also
Very
it has
brushed
to
over, I
be,
think, isn't it?
sorry, Cam, but also it has to be stored somewhere. Yeah, so you've still got storage, whether it's on the cloud, whether it's like, there's still that
that's
impact.
exactly right, and you're exactly right. So there was, from what I was reading in the press, there was a clampdown on this. So then GPT took out a big contract with Oracle, right, to use the current Oracle data centers. So the clampdown was coming from the government saying you're burning all the GPTs, and they were saying don't use prompts like "thank you" because you're burning environmental health. Is at a point with you saying thank you to the GPTs, right? So because that's burning the energy and the storage there. So I think it's a wider issue outside of us in terms of it is the owners of these platforms that need to tackle it. Now GPT are trying to tackle it with NVIDIA with the chips and then using Oracle data centers, which are already built, and saying, look, we're using data centers already built. So you're right, there's a completely an environmental issue here with not just the GPUs processing and all the energy you're using, but the storage itself. Right. And they're trying to clamp down on that where, there's all this terminology about quantum computing, about compressing that, but yeah, it's in the air at the moment.
I think it's definitely something to be aware of, Joe, and just be mindful of. So I think it's everyone's going to have their own viewpoints on it, and really being open to that. One of my franchisees came to me and said, there's a tool I was using. I'm like, actually, I don't want to use this because I'm choosing not to. Can you provide an alternative? I'm like, yeah, of course, no, not a problem. I think my personal view is that the technology will evolve to solve the problem, if that makes sense. But again, my personal view is like all these cartoon things. Like I wouldn't use it for something like that. I use it for things that I feel actually are beneficial. So it's that it's not going anywhere. So how can we use it to most benefit while still being really mindful of the wider impact?
Thank you. Yeah, it's just the awareness of it, and as you said, being mindful of usage.
Yeah, I can completely agree. And I think just more awareness of that. People don't realise the impact that it has. So I think the more that we actually have that conversation, the better.
Brilliant question. Right, guys, I think we're going to have to wrap it up there. But before we close off, I want to thank. Unfortunately, Sam has had to jump off. She has another call. I would like to thank Helen, Cam, Stephen, and Tamara for all your knowledge and your expertise. Please, if you want to, feel free to reach out to any of the guests. We will all drop our details into the chat. Yeah, I'm just trying to find mine now as we do it. So yeah, we'll drop all our details into the chat for you guys, and please feel free to follow us. So don't be scared of AI. It is not going anywhere, and it is really about taking that first step and just trying some stuff out. So go for it, guys. Go for it. Yeah. Thank you again. Round of applause to our fabulous panelists. Very much appreciated. If you are local to Wales, Bristol, South, West, please come and join myself and Caris Keneally on the CAA Regional on the 23rd. And Tamara's just popped in the chat that she is speaking about Instagram, and I've lost the thing. 3rd of people keep putting something in the chat, and I keep losing.
Sorry, 3rd
3rd
of
of
March.
Thank you. There we are. She is doing another webinar for the CAA all about Instagram. I'm going to hand you back over to Julia. Thank you all very, very much for joining me. Has it been helpful for you today? If it has, please drop in the CAA free group, drop in there, put some comments in how much you enjoyed it. Let's get some people watching this on replay. You're all very kind. That's brilliant. So much to take away. Thank you. Thank you. You're very welcome, guys. All right, Julia, it is over to you. Or do you want me to just close it off and we will say goodbye?
Thanks, everyone. I will just close it off and I will pop the recording up in the next couple of days.
Thank
Thanks.
you, everyone. Thank you, Candice.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.